Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video on my channel. Now today I'm going to do a video overviewing this shelf in the background. So this is sort of like my main background in most of my videos. It's a Batman shelf up until about here, and then after that it goes into Superman and Supergirl. So I thought I'd go over this shelf and show you some of the books that we have. So we're going to start out in this section here, which up to about here is a lot of hardcovers. So the first one that you can see is Gotham Central Omnibus by Ed Brubaker. A lot of these are like slotted in very well, but as you can see, this is following the GCPD, Gotham Central Police Department. So it goes into more of the behind the scenes, so like Montoya. So it's more of like the background of like what the police do, and then their sort of views on Batman. So like some like praise him as like a grizzled cop, or like some of them are like, well, the way that he does it is wrong, and then others are like, he makes our job easier, just things like that, and it's sort of the viewpoints. But yeah, I find it quite enjoyable. You do have guest characters come in, like Mr. Freeze and characters like that, which are cool to see come in and out. Then we get into the Grant Morrison run. I've read the first volume. I'm now moving on to the next volume, which is where Batman dies. I'm pretty sure that's part of one of the events where like it's a dark side beam, but it sends him back in time. As you can see by this tiny slither of a bookmark up top here. I'm about 2 or 3 issues in. You will actually find out that a lot of the books here I seem to start, and then a new book comes in, I want to read that more. It just sort of happens. I know it's probably a bit offensive for some people. Then we get into these two, which is Detective Comics number 1 and 2 by Tinian the Fourth. So following this team, which is Clayface, Spoiler, Red Robin, Batwoman, and I can't remember what her name is. It's like Orphan and Spoiler. I don't know which way around it is. But yeah, their little team. And then we have volume 2 here as well. Yep. Let me try and get that back in. Perfect. And then we have another Grant Morrison book, which is Batman Arkham Asylum. Next to that, you have Batman Killing Joke, which is in most people's collections. Batman Unwrapped Death of the Family, because I love Greg Capullo's art, and I'm pretty sure it was a present from a friend. Next after that is the 2 Batman Earth 1 books. I don't know when volume 3 is coming out, but sure, look it. We then have more Snyder books, which is All-Star Batman My Own Worst Enemy and All-Star Batman Ends of the Earth. Sort of like starts out as a road trip. I didn't enjoy that as much as his original run during the New 52. I probably just have to sit down and properly read it again. Then next to that, you can see Batman The Dark Knight Night Terrors. I picked that up more because the art looked really nice. That famous image, if you've seen that go around, which I really quite like the artwork. I don't know what the story is like, but I picked it more up on the artwork. Let's get that back in. Then next to that, I have these. They're not like DC hardcovers. I'll move this across. There's this sort of like turtle, like some school brand that prints them. What's it called? Turtleback book. So I just seen the hardcover on Book Depository or Wordery or one of the ones, and I thought it was a hardcover by DC, but it turns out it's sort of this cheap, but it's the way that I got the 2 stories in hardcover. So I have Year 1 and also The Long Halloween. I know they have come out with an omnibus with all of Jeff Loeb's, like The Long Halloween, and then the 2 after that, which I can't remember what it's like. I can't think off the top of my head, but I do know they're collected in an omnibus. There's like 2 that come after this. But yeah, so those are the 2, and even though they came out by the same publishers, they're not even the same size. So it's sort of annoying, but that's just the way I ended up getting them in the end. But yeah, those are 2 classics that are in most people's collections. And then continuing on things in most people's Batman's collection, we have The Dark Knight Returns, which I read and I thought was alright. I know it was like a revolutionary book, and I know I normally get a lot of hate when I say this, but I think it's alright. It's nothing that I would rave about, but that's just me personally. And then the book next to it, I've never actually got round to reading because the artwork looks disgusting. Like, I don't know, just it looks bad. I don't know if it's the colouring on it, but it just looks bad, so I've never actually got round to reading it. Next after that is another one in most people's collections, which is this behemoth. I still need to get volume 2 and 3, which is Batman Nightfall volume 1. The famous scene where Bane... There we go. Where Bane breaks Batman's back. Next after that, I have Batman No Man's Land. I got that more because the last season of Gotham sort of went into No Man's Land. And I thought I'll give it a go. I think I've read like one issue in, so I need to sit down and properly read that. Next after that is a little book that I picked up, which is Batman by Brian K. Vaughan. A few fun stories in there, which I quite enjoyed. Batman Hush, which is another one where most people get for the artwork, and the story is alright. One book which I wish was longer because I love this concept, which is Batman Battle for the Cowl, where it's most of the Robin family trying to battle to be Robin. So you have Red Hood being Batman with guns. You have Dick Grayson as Batman. I know this goes more into the book here by Grant Morrison, because he goes into Batman and Robin, where that's Damian Wayne and Dick Grayson Batman. So I'm at least going to get more of that. And continuing on with that theme as we move closer is Batman the Black Mirror, because I really enjoyed Dick Grayson being Batman. He was a cool Batman, I'll give him that. But obviously you can't top the original, which this was my first Batman book that I ever got, this series here, which I think is in a lot of people's collections, which is Batman the Court of Owls, Batman the City of Owls, Batman Death of the Family, which as I said I have hardcover here, the Two Secret Cities, which is the 2 0 years, which is Secret City and Dark, Graveyard Shift, which is a few sort of filler issues is the best way to put it. We then have Endgame, Super Heavy, Bloom, and Epilogue, which is Jim Gordon as Batman when he has the best way to call it is like the rabbit suit. We then get into some of Tom King's, which is I Am Batman and I Am Suicide. I didn't really continue because I thought it was okay, but nothing spectacular. I know his run is sort of, people are on the fence about it. I've never sort of continued because, as you can sort of see, I ran out of space, and at the same time, I'll probably continue it another time. Then we come into a few Batman Beyond books. We have Batman Beyond Brave New Worlds. We then have Batman Beyond in the, I think it's DCU, I think this line was called. You have Batman Beyond Escaping the Grave, Batman Beyond Raise the Demon, which I believe is when Ra's al Ghul comes into it, I think. And then Long Payback, where there's like a version of the Joker, I believe, by the things up here. We then get into my Superman book. So we have one, like I said, is probably in a lot of people's collections, All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison. One that I'm going to get rid of one day is What Price Tomorrow, because that is bad. We then have this run, which I do want to continue, and the run after that, just because this run is really good. We have Son of Superman and Trials of Super Son. That was good. And then this one, first volume, Path of Doom. It shows that this Superman taking on Doomsday, and Lois Lane is skeptical because she knew what happened last time when they thought. I love that dynamic in this book, where it's like Lois Lane thinking of how last time he died, but then obviously in comics no one stays dead. So I don't know why I should personally be worried, but it's a cool little concept. We then have Welcome to the Planet and Men of Steel. After that, we have a few. This isn't the completed run, I believe. I have like the start of it, the middle, and the end, but I still have some issues to fill in this run. And that is Supergirl, Who is Superwoman, Supergirl, Friends and Fugitives, and Supergirl, Bizarro Girl. And then we get into the new 52 Supergirl, which we have Last Son of Krypton, Girl in the World, Sanctuary, Out of the Pass, and Red Daughter of Krypton. Yes, she joined the Red Lanterns, which is cool AF. Next is Reign of Soup, where they try and get it to be more like the TV show, so the Supergirl TV show. I read like 1 or 2 issues and then went meh. We then have this, which is more Grant Morrison, but meh. We then have The Final Days of Superman. I more got that so that I sort of had an idea of what's going on here. We then have Superman Reborn. We then have these two. This one I still need to read, but it's by Jeff Johns, so I'm going to get round to it. And Superman Unchained. I'm pretty sure this was the first Superman book that I ever got, so it's like dear to my heart. And that's because of Jim Lee, and his artwork is incredible. But yeah, that is my Batman and Superman shelf. If you want to see any of the others, then just tell me and I will go through them. So yes, the one below has like A to P of like Marvel. So let me... Jesus, one sec. Sorry. So yeah, as you can see down on this shelf below, we have the Avengers here, Carnage, Daredevil, Guardians, and then into Moon Knight and Punisher. So yes, if you want me to do an overview of that shelf, just tell me and I'll do it in another video. Peace.